somebody hear that, they won't even know.
A cow's cud.
Yeah, they chew on it. They swallow it, and later on they regurgitate it and start chewing it.
Really?
Sometimes they lose the cud. My dad and I had old cow lost the cud on several times. And what he did, he get mama get a dish towel with his wash dish with, put a lot of grease on that dish rag, more that, and then he take a stick and push it upside the mouth up in the jaw. Just roll stick up in there, and he thought that. And he keep on chewing it, and he got it good.
You know what?
He got it good.
He got his cud.
Right.
And what do you call it? A cow's cud.
Cow's cud.
How do you spell cud?
I don't know. I don't know how.
The way I spell it is
here's the thing. Here's the thing, because I'm gonna look it up. But that kind of information, that you all share is so valuable. I'm not from the country, but man, the knowledge that you guys have from just even watching nature and watching the animals, and y'all can recall that. That's awesome. I ain't never heard of that.
You never heard.
I ain't never heard. And then you probably ain't never heard of the dish rag that you just shared. Y'all from the country, that's rich. Y'all got so much knowledge to share. You have so much to share, and I know I tried to do this. Last time I was trying to do it on my new phone and it didn't work. But y'all, people need to know. Folks have.
Big old came was sick. Laying there when get up with the other cows. He was sick. Pop went in the house, got a dish rag with mama, got it fixed up and put them little stuff in there and have it wet. Come back then and do like that, get it in the mouth, then hold it, make sure it's on the side of the jaw. Don't put it down in the throat, see. There's a jaw, go side of the jaw, like that.
If you ever go to a farm, you will always see a cow chewing.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Chewing.
So they constantly chew.
Well, what happened when a cow, it's not available for him to do. He gets his stomach full, then he goes somewhere and sit down or lay down or stand up, and every few seconds he built a little bit of that food he just not swallowed up in his mouth. He chew it, then swallow that again, until he get it all chewed up when it's swallowed.
Okay, so then going back to the analogy you were using about the cow's cud. You said he's going to recall it. So you're saying if a person exposes himself to good stuff or bad stuff, just like if a person reading the Bible, that's going to come up again, those words. Well, if you constantly expose yourself to negative stuff or things that are not good for you mentally, then when you're under pressure, that's going to come up. Because that's what you have. That's what you have chewed on.
Chewed on. That you go, sister.
Is that right?
That's what you have been chewing on, and that's what is laying dormant until you get ready to chew again.
See that? That's
when
rich.
something else come up.
That's rich.
I don't know everything about the farm, but I do know.
But go ahead.
We had to learn a lot in 5 years and five years in the country, and then the rest of the time until I got grown, we were still on the farm.
Yeah, in Memphis, in the city, but you were still living a farm life. But see, even though nobody knows everything.
No.
That's why even when you get a degree, what do they call it? A degree of knowledge, right? So I don't know any of that. So whatever you share with somebody, and y'all do, I am just in trance. Anytime y'all share about these things, how y'all grew up, I still remember this. I was sharing with Kevin. I had this vision in my head of the smokehouse, and until Jewel shared with me, he said, me and my brother Jose, and you remember this, Jewel, he said, we would go in the smokehouse and just pull a piece of meat off, and we'd go on out of there. And in my mind, my ghetto city mind, right? I'm thinking, wait a minute, the meat is up there, but it's hanging up with salt. My vision is raw meat with salt. You said, no. In my mind, I ain't even seen smoke. I know you call it smokehouse, but see, you take for granted on what we know. That's why we need visuals, people.
Yes.
We need visuals and diagrams. So I didn't know that. I still didn't know that. So that was rich to me. Or the game that you guys used to play with the pigs. Was it the the pig's bladder, you made a ball out of it.
Yeah.
That's how balloons. We had the money to buy no balloons. So when you kill a hog, you save his bladder.
You know that.
Everybody in the country know that.
Yeah.
Everybody in the country.
If you call yourself from the country, you know that, and that's a test. Because if you don't know that, you ain't really from the country. Just say your mama was from the country, or your auntie was from the country, and you visited sometime, but you ain't from the country. Because I didn't know that. I ain't know that.
And the more pigs you kill, the more balloons you have.
Now, how often would you guys kill pigs?
Well,
once a year.
Once a year, and kill for about 2 or 3.
Unless you save one, a pig, a young pig for the 4th of July, and you kill that pig and you go right on and barbecue it.
Until the 4th of July, kill a pig before then.
Right.
Now, if the weather too hot, you can't save him unless you're gonna.
Right, but this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes people would save a pig, have a young pig, and kill him and get the ribs, wash them, and put them right on the grill. Get all the meat, and put it right on the grill. Right then.
Yeah, right.
See, you can cook that whole.
Because you're not hanging it in there.
You can't save it. It's too hot.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And
so when do you kill pigs normally?
In the fall.
In the fall.
Like
October.
Like weather now.
Right.
It's cold.
This killing hog weather now.
This killing hog.
Oh, right. Is that what they really call it? Killing hog weather?
Yeah.
Wow.
Killing hog weather. And you be killing hog weather until March. Last of February.
Global warming. Some years it's too
early.
It's too hot.
So you got to make sure it's cold so the meat can stay. Okay, so that's what you were saying about in July. If you kill it, you got to go and put it on the grill.
That's right.
You got to put it on the grill.
You got to put it on the grill.
Oh wow, this is so rich. Y'all just full of knowledge. And y'all got so much information to share that my generation doesn't know, but I think of my kids, they'll never know stuff like that. I mean, they're probably not going to put that in the history book. They would never know that.
That's why I try to tell Jeremy and Jerron.
Yeah, right.
When they were curious little boys. They tried to tell them as much as we could.
We had a hard time. Look out. When it's getting warm about April. It's when April comes, it's going home. April, 1st of May. And when if your shoes are regular, you don't get no more shoes until September.
That's right.
You have to regular.
So you had one pair of shoes from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
November.
From November to
April. April, 1st of May.
Naturally, your feet was growing because you weren't living in.
And you weren't able to buy any more shoes.
So when did you wear those? Did you wear that one pair of shoes everywhere?
Well,
but you didn't play in it, did you?
Yeah, that's all we had.
But y'all didn't play in tennis shoes, right?
No,
hold on, back up. I had to stop it. So let me emphasize this. You all did not have tennis shoes.
No.
So what did you play in?
Shoes or barefooted. Mostly barefooted.
Shoes or barefooted?
Mostly barefooted.
Mostly barefooted. Because you had to save that one pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. And
now maybe somebody would send you something from somewhere else, and you use them. They could be 3 times bigger than your feet, but you still use them.
When the sole coming off your shoe, nail that sole back together.
Really?
Don't be a flap down.
I used to sew mine up all the time.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
Wow.
Is that video still playing? Yeah.
Sharing history with us.
Pause it.
Why?